Oh yeah.
Whew.
Now we started.
Right. Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Top of the Hops, the beer and music review show that you didn't know you needed until now. I'm Stu, and with me is my co-host Dan.
Hello there.
How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing fine. It's a bit intrigued to see how this will go. It'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, so for everyone listening, Dan's very comfy, feet on the sofa.
I am.
And we have a selection of beers in front of us and a selection of songs to play for tonight.
Yeah.
So, where shall we begin?
Without further ado, first beer?
First beer. Are we choosing yours or mine?
We'll go yours.
Okay, so I've selected a beer called the Old Fort Export Stout by Redchurch Brewery, which has won silver in the World Beer Awards.
Silver, eh?
Shall I get that bottle?
I've got my lighter though.
All right, you can do mine then.
Oh yeah.
I don't really do opening things with lighters.
It's not cool enough.
No. Right. Cheers.
Cheers. Let's see how we go. So what is it? It's an export stout.
Ooh, that's dark. Quite a desserty beer.
Oh yeah. It's not as I thought it would be more like thick.
Mm-hmm.
It's still quite light and watery.
It is. On first sip, there's like quite a lot of coffee going on.
It's definitely like.
So I feel like I'm having an after dinner coffee and an after dinner chocolatey dessert at the same time.
It's 7.5, isn't it?
Ooh. Starters. I mean, luckily
definitely get you going.
Lucky we're only doing 2 tonight, eh?
Well, of course, every Friday. If you've not found out already, we do 2 beers, 2 songs every Friday.
Every week. And
Top of the Hops.
Top of the Hops. Here we are.
Here we are, sports fans.
Okay.
But yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Refreshing. So, I mean, I chose this. It kind of jumped off the shelf at me visually.
Yeah.
So, if you're listening at home and would like to know what it looks like, just Google Old Ford Export Stout. Have a look. You've got a nice black and white image.
Redchurch. I'm not a fan of how Redchurch do the R's on their label there.
They're quite.
They've.
What don't you like about it?
They've looked like they've put like a lowercase h and a uppercase p together and just slapped it on.
You wouldn't do that, would you, Dan?
I probably would, but I just don't like it.
But what do you think of the font of the name of the beer itself, the Old Fort Export
It's
Stout?
nice. It's got a good bit of distressed look. It goes with the image, doesn't it? It's the nice black and white image of a mustached gentleman riding his bike downtown.
See, I thought you'd like that because I can see you if you were in that era.
Oh yeah,
I'd rock
that. I'd rock that all day long.
You'd ride a bicycle down the street in your
with a Magnum Tash. Yeah,
and Tash. Yeah, where's he going? Do you think?
He's got to be going to the shops, doesn't he?
Buy some beer.
Would you want to ride a bike to buy beer? Because you probably buy a few beers and then you're on a bike.
But he might not have had many options in those days.
Well, he's definitely not got a car, is he?
It looks 1930s, perhaps. Earlier,
I'd say 30s, 20s, maybe. No.
So maybe he did have to get on the bike to get the beers.
Could have just gone to his pub back then. There was a pub on every corner back then.
But maybe that's where he's going.
He's going down to the pub.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the back though. It's got a bit of vanilla in it, a bit of chocolate, a bit of caramel. Very flavoursome. All I'm getting is coffee though. It's very coffee strong.
Very coffee orientated flavour, isn't it? But it's quite refreshing though. I think I've said that already, but yeah, it's worth noting that
it's lighter than I would thought for a 7.5% stout.
Because a lot of stouts are quite
thick, almost creamy like. But it was
a bold choice to start off our first beer of the podcast.
It was. It definitely was.
In many ways, this is the top of the hops because we're starting at the top. And we go downhill from here.
It's all downhill from here, listeners. But stay tuned. There's a dried fruit. Oh no,
Oh, there we go.
plain flavors ranging from dried fruit to vanilla.
And from chocolate to caramel.
So
They're
you
giving you
saw
two
your.
scales there. The scale of dried fruit to
There's a lot
vanilla
of scales there, but
and the scale of chocolate to caramel, which I think
does that include coffee?
mm,
I don't think it does.
it's interesting that it doesn't mention coffee.
Velvety bodied. I'd say that's pretty true.
Stuff like that.
A subtle warmth from the generous alcohol content.
Mm.
There's it's like extra beer coat in a bottle, really, isn't it?
It says it makes it ideal for gastronomic pairings. Interestingly, it hasn't said which gastronomic
That's
pairings.
what I was thinking. I was trying to find they say you'd pair it with, but
So
you must
Mm.
just pair it with another one.
another one of these.
Yeah, another beer. Another Old Ford Export Stout.
Excellent. Well, if you were to, I mean, it says ideal for gastronomic pairings, so
What
they
would you
expect you to
pair
have
that
it with food. But like I said, as soon as I sipped it, it's like an
It
after
is like
dinner
a meal.
You know, it's like having a dessert and a coffee all
It's a
in one.
pudding.
Yeah, it quenches your thirst. So, what could you eat?
I think it's more important to think what you would eat and then have this afterwards. You wouldn't eat it with you wouldn't drink it with something.
No. Well, we've just had a Mexican feast.
We did.
And I feel like it's going quite well with that.
Yeah.
We had quite a salty, savoury dinner.
Yeah.
And then to come back with this.
It's like a grounding.
Yeah, cleanses the palate nicely.
It's quite earthy when I think about it like that as well. It's like it's got that earthy feel.
Mm.
It's very.
It's going down quicker than I imagined.
Yeah, same.
I have to say, when I said it jumped off the shelf at me, I think it looked quite different to everything else. You know, on the shelves, it's all bright colours, craft beers, it's all crazy. And this is very, looks like someone's made it in their back garden.
It's not often you get a crafty beer with, it's all black and white. Not a lot sort of shouts out at you.
Yeah. I don't mean this in like a rude way, but it does look kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Which what it looks like.
Well, that's what I was thinking with that R that I don't like in Redchurch. That to me looks. It's like. I don't feel the designers spent a lot of time on that.
No.
I do apologise in advance if designer is maybe listening and did spend days on that, because that's the sort of thing you'd spend days on and then.
Yeah. But you know that as a designer yourself.
There's no. I'm not calling anyone bad.
Yeah, it's a personal preference.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, I'm saying it looks cheap, but it did jump off the shelf. I saw it and I thought, that looks good.
World Beer Award. You can't knock it. Silver.
Yeah. I'll give it a silver.
Yeah. Mm. In that category of stouts, it is a nice, you know, you couldn't smash 10 of them out in a pub.
No, but unlike a lot of stouts, I could do more than one probably.
I could definitely do.
I've already necked half of it.
How many of these could you do you think? In a row? I
reckon I could comfortably do 2. I don't think I'd want to do more.
I think after food I could probably do 2, 3.
Mm.
You know, at that time, sometimes it's quite an awkward time at a restaurant, depending on who you're with, where you've had your food, maybe had your dessert, and you're just sat around talking, which is really nice and a lovely part of going to restaurants. But in that time, I could definitely smash back about 3 of these.
Mm. Yeah, and since they're 7.5%, 2.5 UK units,
you wouldn't be driving afterwards.
You would,
because that would be very against the law. No,
you'd be riding a bike like this fine gentleman here. But that's also against the law, is it not?
I don't know.
Ride your bike drunk?
I could imagine it is. Maybe if you're causing an obstruction to the highway.
Mm.
Maybe if you're sticking to the bridle path or like non-road cycle path sort of thing. Mm. I don't know. I'm not a power in bike laws and riding, but
that's disappointing.
But you'd definitely get pulled if you were riding a bike really bad in the road, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no matter what you're drinking. Really.
Yeah, you could have 8 of these, ride your bike, and get pulled. it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
The
So-
cop is going to be like, "What are you doing?
We don't
Can you
recommend
not?"
that for listeners.
Yeah,
Full
don't.
disclosure, anyone listening, we have no idea about the cycling laws in the UK. So
Just don't.
to be safe,
Play it safe. Just don't do it.
don't
Or
take
do
these
it,
and do
but
it.
just don't get caught. Actually, no, I
and
probably
don't blame
should.
us.
Yeah, I never said that. If anybody else.
No, we'll edit that out.
Yeah.
We won't. Yeah. Are we doing a rating system on this podcast?
Well, I was trying to think of that, of like whether how would we rate it on other beers we've had or are having,
Maybe.
or would we just drink the beer?
I don't feel comfortable doing the whole, out of 5 stars rating for a beer.
No,
Because some
especially
days,
if they're different. Like it's like different genres of beer aren't going to have the same.
exactly. And I feel like I'm particularly enjoying this now because I'm having it at the right time. Whereas if I had this,
we've just had a meal, so
on a hot summer's day, first one at the pub, 1 in the afternoon.
Oh no!
No, 1 star.
You wouldn't want this at a barbecue either, would
No.
you? It's like
0.5 stars.
exactly. So it's like ratings, like I think isn't right. There's a time and a place for every beer.
Yeah, and we agree this one is an after dinner.
Definitely after dinner.
After
Maybe
dinner
instead of rating, we should do like time and place.
Time and place.
Where would you?
Time and placings.
Where would you drink this beer? After your dinner.
After dinner. Yeah. Okay.
Or if you've had a late supper, maybe just have a half.
But who's having the other half? Me.
We'd save that for the morning.
So it's the morning beer now.
You could have that with porridge. That would be nice with porridge, I think.
I didn't think that, but now you're mentioning it, you could. Cause
it's like
your morning coffee. It's the sweetness of your porridge.
the sweetness. The porridge can be like hot and when porridge is like hot and stodgy, thick porridge.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that like their porridge a certain way, and that's fine. But to me, it's got to be thick.
Yeah.
And hot, really hot.
Thick hot porridge.
Thick hot porridge is the one. If you're gonna add whatever you're gonna add on, yeah, fine. But you got to have that base to begin with,
Yeah. Yeah, I can picture this going well with porridge actually.
So maybe
it'd be a bit too nice.
Yeah, maybe you don't start every day with one though.
No,
that would be a bit.
You start, But do you ever start a Christmas day with a beer?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, this would be a good Christmas day starter.
Especially at my dad's, we'd start with like a bit of fizzy wine.
Yeah.
You'd wake up, have your breakfast with some fizzy wine.
Yeah.
Prosecco.
Yeah, but see, I prefer having a beer to start with because it's kind of more. Yeah. It's more food-like.
This would be a good beer to have in the shower.
Yeah, good shower beer.
It's like nice and cold, but like awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas morning shower beer.
Yeah, or with your Christmas morning porridge.
Exactly.
Not who has porridge on Christmas morning.
Yeah,
let's
that'd
be
be
honest.
A bit weird, isn't it? Although it's
weird
not a bad shout. What do you normally have at Christmas breakfast?
Usually, you got to have some sort of like scrambled eggs, a bit of salmon, maybe something a bit fancy, a bit posh.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people go, like you say, for the drinking your prosecco
it's
or
like
a Bucks Fizz.
Champagne breakfast, isn't it?
Yeah, which I get, and it's nice, but after one, and it depends how many of you there are. You got to finish the bottle once you've opened it. You usually end up having more than 2 glasses, and it's a bit of a weird way to start your day with bubbles.
The old trick where you pop the spoon in the.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. But it's Christmas. You're not going to do that. You got lots to get.
Just finish it.
Yeah, but then I'd rather finish 2 of these on Christmas morning than 2 Proseccos.
Yeah, you can't really drink Prosecco in the shower either.
No, you can turn on what the bubbles are coming from.
No,
that could be anything.
Oh, that could be terrible, couldn't it? Take a swig and it's like, oh god, I've got a mouthful of soap.
No, good.
Because you've been swearing, Stu.
Doesn't matter how many presents you got that morning. That's not a good situation.
That's worse than a lump of coal.
Mm-hmm. That's what Santa gives to the bad kids. Shampoo and their champers.
Champagne. That's what it's called, champagne.
Yeah. Santa invented it. So, coming to the end of this beer, it's going down a treat. It really
has gone down pretty smoothly, to be fair.
So we should probably start talking about what song you have chosen. So, for everyone listening at home, as is tradition,
now, I choose a beer,
Dan chooses a song, and he's based his song choice off of my beer choice, and vice versa later on in the episode.
Yeah.
So, Dan, with the Redchurch Old Ford Export Stout, what song have we got?
I've gone for an old classic. I've sort of gone for matching the sort of label, really, because I've not tried this for the flavours. So
Yeah.
I don't really know where the flavours go with. They sort of do, in a weird way.
Yeah.
But I've gone for a Johnny Cash number.
I think this guy's great with the idea of Johnny Cash.
It is. It's like, if you look at the bottle, it's like, that's, old-timey.
I think perhaps that
firm
should be...
and rolling,
Yeah, I think that should perhaps be a part of the rating system, if you will, that does the beer match up to what it looks like with the design,
Yeah.
Because
people shop with their eyes, obviously.
Yeah.
You can't...
Yeah.
If I saw that on the shelf, I'd be like, well, the label looks cool. I can't taste it right now because they'll probably throw me out the shop. Maybe we should try that, though. Why can't you do that? That's weird.
Yeah. Just try before I buy.
That's made me ponder quite a bit. But yeah, it's like, people shop with their eyes. So if you're not getting what your eyes have bought, then
yeah, what are you doing? I'd say I was not expecting this to be as fruity as it is. Now I'm getting near the bottom.
It is more lively.
Harsher coffee tones that I was getting, they subsided. I'm getting, it says dried fruit. I'm really getting the dried fruit raisiny taste.
I was going to say raisiny. It does remind me of like almost a hot crust bun.
Yeah, I was thinking like a bread and butter
with
pudding.
Like currants. Oh yeah. Like curranty and
It's got that, which again leads us back to breakfast.
It'd go great. Well, it has just been Easter, isn't it? That would have been good with a hot crust bun for your Easter breakfast.
Did not have any hot cross buns this year.
Neither did I. They were sold out everywhere. But I'm pretty sure there was a certain program on a certain channel where they reviewed a lot of hot cross buns, and that gave hot cross buns quite a big coverage, more than usual.
More than usual.
So everybody went out and bought them.
Why didn't I buy any?
Well, that's same to me, and I watched a program that made me want to buy some, but
and then you never did.
Never did. All sold out.
Too much of a good thing.
They were sold out everywhere. Ridiculous. I've never had an Easter like that.
Well, we're just going to have to wait another year. In a year's time, we'll get 2 more of these, pack of hot cross buns, meet you for breakfast. Sound all right?
Even if it wasn't Easter, you could happily have...
Yeah, to be fair,
we're talking about having these for breakfast. It's quite a strange idea. Not that I would normally, unless a weekend, obviously. But Marmite toast with one of these, that would be quite a good little taster. But yeah, the song I've chosen for this, Cheeky Number by Johnny Cash, is I Walk the Line, which I think represents the bottle quite well. And the flavour in a weird way. To the point, he's doing his thing,
Shall we have a listen?
Play that tune, bruv.